Hello, my name is Jeff. This is Finn, my 10-year-old Arab gelding. We've been working for the past, well, I've had him for 3 weeks now on training from start to finish. Wanted to do a video documenting what horse training really was, all the dips and dives and goods and bads and the places and times where you can learn and get better, you and your horse both. So today what I wanted to work on, it's a little bit muddy still. I got a big huge storm yesterday and his round pen's muddy. So we're going to continue disengaging his hindquarters, but I want to start showing how to do a one rein stop on the ground. I'll get more in depth when we're in the saddle, but I'm going to do a few drills and things that I use in order to develop that. So we'll get him caught first, make him yield, he turns and faces. Bring his head down. There you go. A little lower. Boy. Good boy. Make sure the nose band is up tight around his nose so it's not flopping down below. Tuck the tail in. Good boy. I like to let him stand just for a bit. I don't like that his head's up higher. I want to bring it down. So I'm just going to put light pressure on his poll and move back and forth on his nose and the poll until he gives to that pressure. And then I release. There you go. It only has to, there. Perfect. Good boy. We're going to disengage. Make him face up. Good. I always do the same thing every time I start a horse, whether they've got 100 days or whether they've got 5 minutes on them. I always want to make sure that they know how to face me. This right here, for them, is a security zone. Bring him out. Good. One step's okay. Haven't worked with him for a couple days just because of the snow. We got about 3 or 4 inches yesterday, but it was really heavy. Good boy. No, I don't want him to step forward, so I bring him back. Good. There you go. You can also do this. I like to click or snap. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, work the other side. Good. I'm asking for multiple steps now. Good boy. So the beginning steps for the one rein stop or bending and flexing, whatever you want to call it, getting softness in their neck and their body. You've already seen me do this. I put my hand on the bridge of their nose, the other hand right here, right in the middle of their neck, and I just move back and forth. And if they're soft, then I push their head right away. If they're a little stiffer, I keep pulling it until I get that release and that softness. This is also training them to be able to handle head movement. Good. Sometimes I hold it there, making him give to that pressure. See how he's trying to get away from it. Nice. Same idea as you work with the lead rope, only this one's just a little more free. They're allowed to make mistakes easier with this, and that gives you an opportunity. See, he's bringing his head up, so I drop his head down. There, good boy. Keep working it again. Ooh, I like that. Nice. Hold it for a bit. Oh, he doesn't like it. Bring his head down. Good. Bring him back again. Nice. Good boy. Work the other side again. He's already starting to drop his head real good. There. I want lightness on coming and going. And I hold it there until I feel him relax. Bringing his head up, so I'll bring his head back down. Boy. There. And it doesn't have to be all the way to his shoulder blade. It can be a little bit. Some of these more muscular horses in their neck, like he's got a little bit shorter neck and more muscle through here, so it's harder for him to bend. So those are things you got to remember when training your horses. Train to their body conformation as well as your skill and methods. Bringing his head up again. I'm going to drop it down. There we go. Good boy. Bring it on over. There you go. Good boy. Good. Then give him a little rest, little pet, little pat, wherever you decide. Okay, the next step in this, I'm going to move him around, that way you can see it. There you go. Good boy. This I like to try to make it as similar to being in the saddle as possible. So when I bend, I have one hand up here. I know it's on his withers, and my other hand's going to be over here in a saddle, but it's still getting him used to seeing and feeling where it should be from the saddle. He's already trying to anticipate what I'm asking for, so I'm going to wait until he just relaxes. Even though he knows what I want him to do it when I'm asking him to. That way, if you're out on the trail, in the arena, whatever it is, and you're asking for one thing and he thinks it's another thing, there doesn't get the confusion. So I'm still waiting there. Now, I'm going to bring it across and over, wait for the give. As soon as I feel that softness on the release, then I let go and I release the pressure. A lot of people ask, how do I get the timing? How do I get that feel? Those things come with experience. You can't gain feel, you can't gain all these little tiny things for timing and all that without doing it a lot. If you don't have the experience to know when a pressure is released, you're going to constantly be releasing at the wrong time, different methods, different things. And then the horse will start getting confused. You'll start getting a little bit of an act up. Well, the more you do this, the more horses you mess with, the more times you train, you start to understand and you get that feel. We'll bring it back across. Good. That's getting very light. I like that. Boy. Very good. From the first day to today, he's getting so much softer in his body, in his eyes, in his body movement. I'm really happy with how he's coming along. Okay, reach down the lead rope, bring it up and across, and soft. Okay, we'll move him over, move his front shoulders. Good. Move him a little more. Oh, it's not where I'm wanting him. So I'm going to bring him over here, move him around. Good. And then bring his shoulders over. Perfect. Start again. He's camera shy. Good. Perfect. There you go. Nice. Reach down the rope. Bring it up like you would in the saddle. Wait for that softness. Very nice. He's like, hey, aren't you going to keep doing it? Reach down. Bring it up to where you're going to... Nice. Boy. Very good. Now, if he moves like that, that's not what I'm asking for. So I keep that pressure on. Good. The idea of the one rein stop is to bend. If they yield their hindquarters, fine, but I want them to stop moving their feet. If he keeps trying to move his hind end around, I keep that pressure on until his hind end stops and he just flexes and he relaxes. Then I release the pressure. You're going to get that the first time with a lot of the horses, not all the time, but with a lot of the horses, you're going to get, when you go to bend them, they're going to want to move that hind end around with you. So what I do is I stay right here in this pocket, right against, slightly behind this shoulder blade, right where I would be if I was sitting. Good boy. And if he's moving, I just keep moving with him every step. Try to stay in close in this area. You don't want to get out here because then you lose the contact of what you're trying to do with this bend. If I'm out here, I can't keep that contact. If I'm in here close enough where you're not going to get stepped on, that's where the body awareness on your part and his come into play. Okay, the next step, this might get a little bit interesting. We'll see how he does. This is the first time I've worked this with him. He's doing really well with the flexing, with the bending, with the yielding, with the relaxing. So the next step I'm going to do, and this teaches two things. It teaches him how to have a rope behind his butt and not to freak out with that pressure. And the second thing is it teaches him how to follow that pressure around. Okay, follow the movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the opposite side of where the lead rope is. Okay, and you want to make sure that when you do this for the first time, they have been desensitized to a rope behind their butt a little bit. That's where, like, flipping it behind them, moving it around, different stuff like that, so they're not panicking or freaked out. Because what he's going to want to do is, I'm standing on this side, he's used to bending to this direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the rope behind his butt, just like that. This is where a 13-foot lead rope really comes into play. And then I'm going to step out of the way and move. Then click to him. Oh, that was really good. You are getting so light. Nice job. Usually you kind of get a little bit more of a reaction out of that because they're not quite sure what you're asking for with following that pressure around. But because, like I said, I've been doing a lot of bending and flexing with him already, he understands that movement. So make sure before you do this, they get really soft. Okay. Now you don't want them to anticipate movement. Let's get it back there like that and bring it around and step out of the way and let him come to you. Good boy. Very nice. Let him sit and think for a second. You don't want a horse, when you go to pull on him, to start bracing and fighting that pressure. You want him to follow it and go with it until it stops. And that's what this is really helping to teach. Okay, I'm going to keep moving him until I get where I need to be. Get set before you start putting pressure, because you're going to want to be able to move out of the way. Okay? So then step this way and then move over. Well, you're making it really easy today. Come back to the center. Let him relax for a bit. And do it again. I want to do this today, his first time, until I can get that rope put back there without him shifting and moving around. I'm not looking for anything drastic or big, but I am looking for comfort in his part. There. And he started to figure out exactly where that pressure needed to be and where to follow it to release from it. Good boy. One more time on this side. This is one of my favorite techniques for getting a really smooth, easy bend, a really smooth, easy beginning on a turnaround, and a desensitizing for his back end. This would be easier with just a little bit longer lead rope, but sometimes you work with what you got. There. Okay. Now he's starting to move. I step back. I release the pressure and I let him come to me. Good boy. Switch over to this side. Still not quite sure about this part, which is all right. You'll get comfortable with it, used to it eventually. Okay. As soon as he turns, that pressure is gone, and he's starting to figure that out. Again. I just don't want him to start anticipating that turnaround. So I want to make sure that I get that rope back there and he's held first still before I start any pressure on him. There. On that one, he was a little more dancy than I would like. But still very calm. He's accepting this new very well. One more time on this side. Still stepping. Still trying to figure out what I want. Trying to figure out if he's comfortable with it or not. See, that one, not okay. He shouldn't walk off like that without having my attention. So we'll reset. I'm not going to give him any break or rest because he's not doing what I asked him to do on that turn. Now, if he turns into me while doing this, I'm okay with, because he's not turning his butt away until I ask for it. Okay. Let him hold for a second, figure it out. Then I start bringing the pressure. Good. I step back, let him come to me. Boy, that was better. What I was saying in other videos, make sure you are very clear and concise in your own mind and with your horse about what you're wanting and what you're asking for. I didn't want him to walk off and move away or anything like that, so he's going to continue to do what I'm asking for until it's the response and the result that I'm looking for. Because he's still trying to figure out, he's still trying to guess and see what I'm asking. So if I'm not clear about what I'm asking each and every time, that's going to confuse him from one time to the next. If I allow the walk off that time, and then the next time I try to correct it, that's where the confusion comes in. I'm going to switch over to this side. You head down. There you go. Good boy. Okay, I'm going to wait until he's there. Now, light pressure. No. Bend it around. Step back. And wait for him to come to me. Yep. In that instance right there, that could have been a pretty good thing if he started to spin into the rope. So that's why I just made sure that I kept that little bit of pressure on that outside of his head right here, moving that way. That way he knew that I wasn't asking for him to go, the pressure wasn't going that way, it was coming this way. Good. There. I wait for him to bring his head, then I step back, let him come to me. Very nice. One more round on this side. There we, oh, nope. That's not. Not what I'm asking for. We'll do it again. It's harder to be able to yield the hindquarters from that, over here, when he was doing like he was, because I'm asking for double pressure then on that side and that side. So instead of that, I just got after him and made him pay back attention to me. Turn up and face on me. That's where the anticipation started coming in. He needs to learn how to just stand still right here until I ask something from him. There. A lot of times I'll just let him sit and wait. That way it's not, he doesn't think it needs to be instant. It's kind of like when you get on your horse and they walk off. I like to get on my horse and just let them stop and think and stand there for a bit. Same thing here. He's having to think about it now rather than just reacting and anticipating. Okay, now I'll put the pressure. Take a step back. Bring him to me. Very good. Well, I'm very happy with how he did today. So we're going to end on a good note. Let him think about all the things that he just learned. Thank you for tuning in.